Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications that you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. We are in 2 Samuel 8, verses 1 through 18. Now, God had promised Israel that their enemies would be under control. And God fulfilled this promise by helping David to defeat all the enemies around them, and then they became their servants. And these enemies, once they were defeated, they brought gifts to David. And David turned around and dedicated those gifts to the Lord. David was preparing the way for his son Solomon to be able to build the temple and to be able to live in peace. Now, these gifts were probably a lot like taxes. When a country was conquered, they had to give gifts, sometimes money, sometimes material things, but they would give it in order to help support Israel's government and to demonstrate that they were under Israel's control. Now, God may not defeat all of our enemies, and people may not give us gifts of silver and gold and brass, but God will be with us to help us fight in our shortcomings and our temptations. And God is going to always be with us, no matter what the situation is that we feel. Now, there may be times that we feel frustrated and angry. Maybe we feel a little bit out of control. Maybe we feel like we don't have God with us. But this is where prayer really comes into effect. Praying and having that close relationship with God. Because when you feel like things are out of control and you can't do anything else and you feel the anger and the frustration, begin to confirm who you are in God before you ever say a word. Remember, I am a child of the royal king. I was made in the image of a perfect God. God has nothing but goodness planned for my life. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then we have to realize that God is justice. God is the judge, and that He will rule and He will take care of everything, but we have to let go of control. And then this should calm you down. This should give you a new perspective. I do this a lot of times. Self-control is very important. And everything that David did was to please God. David was popular among the men, but it was not because he did everything that made the people happy. It was because he did everything to please the Lord that he was able to do. Now, if we try to please men, we're going to be jumping through hoops all the time, and we're going to make ourselves exhausted. But when we work really hard to please God, other people will respect the conviction that we have that God's given us. Now, David's characteristic was that he reigned with justice. And justice means to be fair in preserving the law, in administering punishment, and having respect for people's right. And this is why almost everybody trusted and followed David. God's laws are meant to establish a just society. Now, everyone needs justice. Sometimes we need it in our own lives. And justice should be a characteristic that we are trying to apply to all relationships and to others that we come in contact with. May God be with you in everything and in every way.